Hello and welcome, my friends, and welcome to this evening's Juve therapy session. And as you can see, well, I've upgraded just a little bit for this Friday. And it's great to see you guys. Smash a like on this video, of course, and subscribe to Juve therapy channel if you are here for the very first time. My name is Roman, still buzzing after Italy won the Euros. And I run this Juve fan channel, talking all things Juve. Of course, watch-alongs will be back in just a week's time before we get into the Champions League, before we get into all that stuff with the Coppa Italia and so on and so on and so on. So just don't go anywhere, subscribe to the channel, and of course, like the video. So today, my friends, was supposed to be the day where, well, a certain Manuel Locatelli supposed to arrive. Well, at least close the deal. The deal was supposed to be done today, according to several, well, rumors in social media. And of course, it's never that easy in Italy. But with Juve especially, and now Sassuolo, it becomes even worse. It takes much longer time. We'll go through all that stuff. We go through the consequences of this prolonged negotiations. Well, of course, touch in on Paulo Dybala extending his contract most likely this weekend, or as I fear it won't be this weekend, it probably will be Monday, Tuesday. But the feeling around the club, around his entourage, is that he is gonna renew. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? We'll talk about that, of course. We'll talk about Cristiano Ronaldo and his rumors. Maybe going to PSG. I call that BS straight away, but we'll talk about it. And of course, Pellegrini also rumored to go out on loan, which means whatever that means. We'll talk about this. So yeah, we have stuff to cover. And of course, 1 week and 1 day left before we start the Serie A season. And still, Norway hasn't decided what to do with the Serie A broadcasting rights. So as of now, I have nowhere to watch Juve games. This has become a farce. It's been a while. Nobody cares anymore. It's all about the Premier League. It's all about the La Liga, even though Barca in the mud, Real Madrid slightly in the mud, and still they have more attraction than Serie A. I do not get it. I do not understand it, but it is what it is. I'm still waiting for this issue to be resolved. So let's say hi in the chat, my friends. Ryan in the chat, the first one there. Thank you very much for joining, Ryan, and welcome back to my channel, my friend. Gabby, Steve, Ridiman, Arnav, Mr. Crab, Aditsa. Welcome, my friends. Welcome. So how are we feeling this weekend, huh? We're going into this weekend, Friday the 13th. It's a crazy date, huh? And it was supposed to be the D-Day for Manuel Locatelli to sign the deal, to get this done, for the both parties to be agreed upon, because there are no third party in this particular deal, because Locatelli has agreed the deal with Juve months ago. But it is the deal between Juve and Sassuolo. And Sassuolo, well, we'll talk about that as well, because, my friends, we have to spin this a little bit, because I do not want to bash Juve just like some recreational Juve fan. I'm not going to call out any names, of course, but the social media are full of frustration, full of noise, because we're supposed to be getting this lad weeks ago. Even before the Euros, we were talking, he's going to go, he's going to come, but still nothing. Still waiting. So I get your frustration, but there are two sides to this story, so we'll talk about this. But before we go any further, guys, how are you doing? This Friday, you get it for the weekend, ready for the final week before the Serie A season. And of course, next Friday, we're going to be Juve therapy session, of course. Well, we will predict. I will have a guest on. I will not reveal who that is, but I'll have a guest on, and we will together predict Serie A table for 2020-21, 2022 season. There we go. So everyone wanted De Ligt, and it was easier getting him than Locatelli, says Aditsa. Yes, Sajid, welcome to the stream, my friend, and smash a like on this video. Lovely to see you. How are you guys doing? Sassuolo will never accept our proposal. Well, this is a good way to start, Ryan. And Cherubin is doing nothing, and Agnelli didn't even come to the meeting. He should be because he has to do the dirty work. Well, let's be honest. Let's just go dive straight into this one because I see that people are very very engaged, very frustrated in because of the recent events, and let's just talk through what really happened. So last season, my friends, last freaking season, uh, Locatelli wanted to go to Juve last season. Then, of course, COVID happened and everything got postponed. Never got the deal done properly between the clubs. Now this is a totally different story. But ciao, Pierre. Nice to see you, my friend. Um, I don't know, guys. The thing is that this time, and it's been a while back since this happened, Sassuolo are a tough nut to crack. And we have no money to really negotiate a deal. They say, this is it. This is what he's worth. This is what we want. They even tried to push the price because Manuel Locatelli was rumored to Arsenal, to some Premier League clubs. And as soon as some Premier League clubs are rumored with a Italian player, the prices go up because they know if I'm Sassuolo and I hear Arsenal are linked with Locatelli, I'm not going to go 35 million. I'm going to go 45. I'm going to go 50. Because I know those Premier League clubs, not necessarily are that stupid, but Premier League clubs can afford that kind of money. Mind you, Atletico Madrid signed Rodrigo De Paul from Udinese for 35 million. And I think this was only the reason as to why this is a bargain deal for Atletico Madrid, by the way. Just diverting from Locatelli just a second, because this De Paul deal is very very interesting. They put a price tag for Italian clubs 50, 60 million. But then he went to Atletico Madrid for 35. Why? Because they knew that if Rodrigo De Paul going to Juve, Merda, Milan, Napoli, whatever, they are going to strengthen Italian, big Italian club. They don't want to do that apparently. So whether that was a good idea or not, of course, if in terms of their financial status, of course it isn't. They could have got 60, 50 from Merda. Well, of course they did because Merda also had no money. Had no money at that time. So now they're getting 35 million from Atletico Madrid. But that was only because they didn't want to sell to a Serie A rival, which I don't get. But 35 million, it is a bargain from Atletico Madrid. I expect the big things from De Paul, so we'll see what happens. But back to Locatelli. The price tag from Sassuolo is 40 million. Plus minus 40, plus minus 2-3 million or whatever, but it is 40. It could become 50. It was involved if there was any involvement from the Premier League clubs, but it wasn't. Arsenal backed out, or maybe they were not really even that interested. So it was always going to be Juve. Merda were never mentioned. Milan were never mentioned. Atalanta were never mentioned. Nobody. It's just Juve. So if I'm Sassuolo and I'm seeing that, you know what? Only Juve. If you want him, come and get him. But that's gonna cost you. And I get the idea of getting as much money as possible from a player, but for a player, sorry. But when a player clearly wants to go to Juve, you are holding out him on a ransom, basically. You don't want him to leave unless they're being paid whatever they want to be paid, which is dangerous because Juve might pull out and say, you know what, no, we're not going to pay 40, we're going to pay 32 or 33. Now the latest rumors from Agresti and Fabrizio Romano is that they are closing in on the deal. So the meeting today was basically closing in on something. So next week, the next thing, that's the magic 2 words, next week. Next week they will close the deal. 35 million, I think the value will be, the price tag will be 35 million, loan with obligation to buy. Maybe there'll be some players involved in the transfer, some loan deals, maybe, we don't know. But this is such a complicated deal for Juve to make because they have no leverage, they have no money. But then you kind of think of it. Why are we even extending a contract for Paulo Dybala if we have no money? That narrative of we have no money, but then we are extending the contract of Dybala. I'll answer that. There are two different things here: wage budget and then the transfer budget. If you play Football Manager, you know. And there are already allocated funds to facilitate the renewal of Paulo Dybala. But they have been waiting to get something out of something, to raise some millions for Locatelli deal. This is why Demiral went to Atalanta for a slight fee. I guarantee you that that fee from Atalanta for Demiral, I think it was 2 or 3 million or whatever, is being injected straight into the fee for Locatelli. And that was not going to be possible 2-3 weeks ago. But Sassuolo were not going to be pushed. Sassuolo are not being pushed around. Sassuolo are saying 35, that's it. Take it or leave it. 40, take it or leave it. Now, they clearly see that you are not going to pay 40. It's going to be 35 at max. So now, yes, and Steve perfectly well says this in the chat, Sassuolo did sign a replacement for Locatelli already. Plus, Locatelli doesn't want to stay at Sassuolo. He wants to go to Juve. This is a publicly known thing, and even today he liked one of Instagram photos from a fan account himself. For me, this is the only way to go now for Sassuolo. They need to sell sooner or later. But to drag it out this long is, of course, I'm not sure if that's a good idea for them. I don't think they care. They are gonna sell Locatelli sooner or later, but they're gonna push Juve as hard as possible. Now, unfortunately, Juve have not enough money to initiate those 5 extra million. If they want 40, give them 40. No, that's not how you operate, because now they have no money. This is not a transfer fee of 40 million. This is a transfer fee split between seasons. This is a loan, first and foremost, like the Chiesa deal. So this is a complicated contract. And the bonuses, the extra fees. I mean, if we go to the Champions League, if we go to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, how much money will Sassuolo get then? If we go to the semifinals, if we win the Scudetto, if we don't win the Scudetto, how much is that going to cost us for Sassuolo? So there are a lot of details, but before we go to by the way, I just wanted to look at the chat because there are a lot of interesting points here. I'll get to your question, Sajid. How many goals Cristiano will score next season? I will answer that a bit later. Next week, I hate those words because everyone on social media is laughing at us. Let them laugh. And I get why, but it's understandable because we have no money. And do we need to spend that kind of effort? We are just using our time and energy on one player, on one deal. Is that deal really important? This is also a question to be asked. Well, we'll talk about that also. Ciao Massimo, nice to see you. Honestly, at this point, I don't even want to do business with Sassuolo. Well, remember when we signed Zaza? That was also a bit of a struggle, signing Zaza from Sassuolo, and also Berardi deal. Remember, Berardi was originally signed by Juve and then almost signed, I think, and then going back to Sassuolo. So there have not really been many deals between those two clubs that both parties can be happy with. For me, the management has already failed because they didn't play hardball like Sassuolo. I think they are. I think they are playing hardball, Ryan, but they only playing hardball because they say, you know what, I'm gonna pay 40, I'm gonna pay 35, I'm gonna pay 30 or 35, but they're not gonna give in to the demands of Sassuolo. So they are playing hardball, but it's been taking so long. So the ball has been always in their court. Sassuolo always been waiting for action from Juve because they are comfortable. They can very well keep Locatelli. He will not be happy. And they will have two players. And they basically, could they afford that? Also is a big question. So yeah, why don't you just make life a bit harder for Juve? I don't know. Cannavale was also one of those who want us to relegate to Serie C. There we go. Yeah, but it is what it is. This is the business side of things, and let's talk football, right? Let's talk football. Never mind the transfer fees. Never mind how much money we have or don't have. But imagine you are 1 week away from Serie A season, and your key figure, taking away Cristiano, Dybala's, De Ligt's, whatever, Rabiot's, key figure in the midfield is not there. I said this right at the end of last season. I said this on one of my streams. I've said this many times, actually. We need to get sorted out our squad as soon as possible. We cannot wait for several months before we actually buy someone. This is why now we will be struggling. So Locatelli will arrive. Locatelli will arrive, my friends. I have no doubt about it. Locatelli will come. But the game against Udinese, thankfully, they don't have Paulo. They are very weak inside by now. But Locatelli will arrive. Locatelli will not start. Trust me on this. Aaron Ramsey will start as a regista against Udinese. I'm calling it right now. Because should Locatelli arrive, he will need time to adjust. He will need time to understand how Juve are playing. He will need time to get to know Allegri and all the players around him. And Allegri, remember, as I said last week, or on Monday actually, Allegri takes time with new signings. He will not just go throw Locatelli in the mix. This is why he's speaking so warmly of Ramsey. And we'll see tomorrow, by the way, my friends, against Atalanta in the friendly, where also Allegri confirms that Ramsey will play as a regista once again. It is a strange position for Ramsey, but if it works, fine. I don't care. If it works, fine. But this guy will not stay fit, so we need someone else. And of course, everyone agrees with that one. Of course, with Locatelli, when he arrives, he will play in that role. But to wait for so long, first of all after the Euros, unfortunately for Juve and Locatelli, Italy won the whole thing. If Italy were eliminated in the group stage, Locatelli deal would be done by now. That's my feeling, because Locatelli will be back from vacation. They will get more time to prepare for the transfer. They will make time to understand the situation of the club, of the player. But there we go. Italy won the Euros, and Locatelli on extended vacation. Now, of course, he's back with Sassuolo training. And, well, for Sassuolo, it just doesn't matter. They will get their 35 million. They will not get the 40, because now they realize that Juve will not pay it. So, there we go. And Irish Macbeth, welcome to the stream, my friend. Reich as well, and Firdosh. Thank you so much for joining. We need a midfield. Yes, we do. And this is where, of course, Locatelli will come in. But Manuel Locatelli. Is he the answer? I remember Aditsa in the stream, well, while back, said that, made this question, and I also agree with that one. Is it enough? Is Locatelli enough? And I agree with that. It isn't. It isn't. It isn't enough. We need more than that. But most importantly, we need things that we cannot buy. Maybe we already have it, but we just don't know it yet. It is teamwork. It is team effort. It is chemistry. It is understanding. It is fino alla fine. Because we forgot the fino alla fine. We forgot the fino alla fine last season and the season before. We got too complacent. We got bored. We got full of ourselves. And I'm looking at you, Rodrigo Bentancur. I'm looking at you, Leonardo Bonucci at times. And to be fair, we need also to re-emerge and rediscover that love for football, that hunger for trophies, because the Scudetto that we lost last season went to merda. That should sting just because it's merda. And the fact that we're not wearing the crest for this coming season, that should sting. And Allegri knows this. Allegri knows that this will sting throughout the whole season, watching these guys wear that crest. Of course, they're not. Trust me, I don't think Merda will win the Scudetto this season. Only Chiesa has Grinta says PTSF9123. Welcome to the stream, my friend. And one of those guys, Chiesa, one of those younger guns, Chiesa, Locatelli, if he arrives, De Ligt, they will be a big, big factor. They should be, because those old guns, maybe they're just starting to realize, because, now time to take over, time for young players to take over. Bonucci and Chiellini will not play together throughout the whole season. We know this, of course, because De Ligt is there. He's just too good to sit on the bench. Well, Reich will love me for this one, but yeah, he knows I love him. Locatelli is not confirmed. Dennis, welcome to the stream, my friend. And in 5 days, your birthday, 18th of August, I remember. And I see that there are several people here in the chat. Stop making no-look passes if you are under 23. Yeah, there we go. Rugani is luckiest guy in the squad. Yes, so since we are nothing to talk about regarding Locatelli, nothing new, the meeting is postponed. If you just joined the stream, by the way, guys, ciao Nilesh, welcome, my guy. Nothing new. Locatelli had Sassuolo representatives and Juve representative had a meeting today. Nothing has been agreed upon. They only agreed on one thing. They're going to have another meeting next week. But I think they are getting closer. I think the deal will be done. I think the deal will be at around 35 million. And I also think that he will arrive just after the Udinese game. I do not think he will be ready for that one. And even if he will be, he will not play. So this is what I'm saying. Ramsey, be prepared. Be prepared, my friends. Aaron Ramsey will be playing as a regista against Udinese unless he gets an injury before the start of the season, which is highly likely, by the way, if you know Aaron Ramsey. Yeah, I did enjoy the holidays. Thank you, Indy. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Yes. Good thing from the press today. Allegri said Chiesa is better on the right. Of course he is. Will Ramsey stay? Exo, welcome to the stream. And this is a good question. Will Ramsey stay? Yes. Why? Not because we don't like it, but we as fans don't like it. But we have to differ ourselves from fans and the club, because Juve as a club seems to be content with Ramsey for now. They don't like him being injured, of course. Nobody likes that. But there are no offers. So they might as well accept the fact that Ramsey will be staying and featuring against Udinese, most likely. He'll be featuring tomorrow against Atalanta. And yes, there have been talks of Pjanic as a plan B if Locatelli fails. Should Pjanic arrive, I don't think it matters. I still think Ramsey will be the first choice. And Pjanic will be the second. talks of Pjanic getting 5.5 million a season as a salary from Juve, and then the rest will be covered by Barca. But Barca are so broke right now they couldn't even afford Pjanic plane tickets from Barcelona to Turin. So I wonder what's going to happen then. But first of all, if they sign Locatelli, I do not think Pjanic will arrive. And to be honest, Pjanic is not our problem. Shouldn't be, not least not yet. But Ramsey, as long as he keeps injury free, as long as he is injury free, he will be playing as a regista unless, of course, Locatelli arrives. Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. We have to trust. We have to trust our management for now because that's all what we can do. I do not like the fact that Ramsey will be playing as a regista because I don't think that he will be doing any great job. And let's just hope Ramsey doesn't score. And he never scores, right? So just forget about it. But the thing that was interesting with Ramsey, hi Rohit, welcome to the stream back, and Rishi. Of course, a lot of you people are joining here right now. Smash a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Ramsey was fit during the Euros. Fit. Played 3 games in space of 9 days or whatever. And of course, there was some talks of criticism towards Juve, J Medical, because they didn't know how to fix Ramsey, and then suddenly he plays for Wales, and Wales know exactly what to do. Apparently, with Aaron Ramsey, because he played 3 games, almost full 90 minutes every game. This is Juve, totally different. I don't know why it is so different for him and for his body, but it is what it is with Ramsey. So the fact is that we cannot trust Aaron Ramsey. That's it, because of his history with the club, his history with the injuries. If he stays fit, it doesn't necessarily mean that he will play well. But then he also needs to stay fit in order to be available. But he will not be available because he will always be injured. And this is a funny one. Imagine if Ramsey actually succeeds. If actually he does great. Imagine what will happen then. Of course, healthy competition between Ramsey and Locatelli, because I still, as I said, I still think that Locatelli will arrive. So it's an interesting one. Let's see in the chat. So the most important house connection between players, and they must understand each other's movements, and also most importantly, factor is grinta and also hungry for winning trophies, says Nilesh. I do not like the idea that Ramsey will be playing for Juve, says Irish Macbeth. Nothing we can do about it. Whether we like it or not, nobody wants the guy. Again, going back to the inflation of the wages, we have been paying millions, gazillions of dollars to Sami Khedira. He was working in the freezer at the J Medical, getting buttloads of money for doing that. The same thing with Douglas Costa. Nobody wanted the guy because of the high wages. And then again, Aaron Ramsey, another injury-prone player, another J Medical employee, getting too much money for very little because he's coming in from Premier League. Premier League are overspending in regards to wages, or are they actually? Because, well, this is their standard. Their wages are so high. This is their standard. So this is why nobody, very rarely, going from Premier League to Serie A, unless you are getting a salary increase or whatever. Lukaku being maybe one or two exceptions. Maybe Lukaku will be one of them. But now, of course, he's going back to Chelsea. So yeah, that's the hype. It's just a hypocrite. That's how it is. I love my club, and then suddenly he leaves for Merda. But I don't care. This is not Merda TV. And with those wages, this is why it's difficult for us to sell, because wages are so high. Who would want to pay whatever Ramsey's earning right now, 7.5 or 8 or something, nobody in their right mind would think that, you know what, I'm not going to pay 8 million a season for Ramsey because I know he is injury prone. He is 30 or something already. No. This is why there are reservations, and this is why he will stay at Juve for the foreseeable future because nobody wants the guy. I have nothing against him personally, but he is too injured. And well, even if he is fit, for me, he would be a great asset coming forward because I think he's a very smart player. But playing as a regista, I'm yet to be impressed. Yet to be impressed. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's see. Boshinho's in the chat. Nice to see you, my friend. We only play 44 to Bernardeschi for Atletico second leg. Yeah. Well, Bernardeschi, 40 million. Again, this is also an interesting topic, actually. Smaller clubs in Italy, Fiorentina being a smaller club than Juve, granted they are. Sassuolo being a smaller club than us, granted they are. They can afford to splash such price tags on their talent because they know if you need a young Italian talent, homegrown player and whatever, you have to pay for it. Chiesa, 60 million or 50 or 60 million, the total package was worth. It's a steal now. It's an absolute steal. Vlahovic, 80 million euros. Dusan Vlahovic from Fiorentina, 80, 70 or 60, 70, 80 million, whatever. The price tag. Nobody in Italy will pay that kind of money for him this season. But Premier League sides, La Liga side, Atletico Madrid might pay that kind of money. Bayern Munich might slot in and get Vlahovic for like here. I don't know. But this is the money. They know that they have an asset. They have a star in their team, and they are going to price it that way. And then, of course, what's there to lose? Nobody wants the guy. They will keep him, and he will still score bangers for Fiorentina next season as well. So it's a win-win for them for now. But then Vlahovic decides to get pissy, decides to be, wanting what's best for himself. This is where the danger becomes a reality for Fiorentina, because Fiorentina right now are happy that he's staying, but next season maybe he's wants to leave, and then price tag won't be 60 or 80. Maybe it will be 60 or even 50 because now they have to sell. So, but then again, then you have a competition, then you have a bidding war, and then it comes back to 80 as well. So no need to be an expert, Philip J. Fry. Philip McFry. No need to be an expert to see that Juve 2021-2022 is the same as the year before, apart from Allegri and Caio Jorge. Nothing changed. Well, I have to disagree with you there, my friend. Rugani, the GOAT, is back. And the GOAT, De Sciglio, is there as well. We'll talk about that in just a minute. I think the whole team needs an overhaul. There is so much deadwood, says Philip. Yeah. We'll come to that next season. Next summer, there will be a huge overhaul. Boshinho says, the first time ever, I don't expect anything big for upcoming season. Last season, I wanted very much to win the 10th Scudetto. So did I, my friend. So did I. Now we must go forward with poor squad because we are lacking money. I wouldn't say we have a poor squad, but I mean, the pundits are saying that Juve are clear favorites to win the Scudetto next season. Imagine. I don't believe it. I just don't see it. Not yet. Not yet. I see Atalanta steamrolling. I see Napoli interesting. I see also, well, granted, Merda are selling they sold their two best players, one of the two best players, Lukaku and also Hakimi. They sold him now. Lautaro Martinez will probably leave after this season. I don't see them being challenging for the Scudetto just yet. Maybe Milan, even though I highly doubt it. Who else? It's Juve, Atalanta. Juve, Atalanta, maybe Crapoli. But maybe it's just too early for us. But I wouldn't say we have poor squad, but we don't have a good squad. I would say, well, we need to improve on some things. And by the looks of it right now, Pellegrini is rumored to go out on loan. Once again, I never understand that deal with Spinazzola and Pellegrini swap. Never understand that deal. And, well, Felix Correa just got on loan and went on loan to Parma with obligation or option to buy. So, yeah, we're just shipping them off. But that's a good thing. Especially with Felix Correa, it is a good thing. Why? Because Felix Correa and Nicolo Fagioli, I've said this many, many times, they need to play. And they will not sit on the bench for the first team and play in the under 23s because they need to play in the middle ground between those two. Either you play for the first team in Serie A, which is too big for them, too high of a level for now, but they could be an asset for a Serie B side, and that's exactly where Felix Correa is going with Parma, rejoining Gigi Buffon there, which is quite lovely. Napoli always fails, says Steve. Yeah. Napoli is good as well. Yes. I hope Rugani Milenkovic swap deal will proceed and succeed. I hear talks of Milenkovic going to West Ham, if I'm not mistaken, in the Premier League. Yeah, but we'll see. Inter signed Dumfries, and they might sign Vlahovic for Lukaku replacement, but us. I don't think they will sign Vlahovic. Even if they do, it will be interesting to see what happens, but I highly doubt it. And Vlahovic to Merda will be too high, too big of a step for him, in my opinion. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. I love Spinazzola, but let's admit he is a liability in terms of fitness. Will put in several good games before going missing on injury. He's an explosive player, Philip. Even though I see your point. With Spinazzola, but he's an explosive player, and explosive players tend to get injured. Douglas Costa, is a prime example of an explosive player. Explosive meaning he stands on both feet, and then suddenly makes a very, very quick turn to the right or to the left, and this is where his muscle are just snapping or something. Juan Cuadrado is a very, very good exception to that rule because Juan Cuadrado is a perfect example of that player, of a moving player, of a quick, fast player who suddenly decides to shift momentum, to suddenly become Lightning McQueen instead of being like a slow-mo. But he hasn't been injured that much. But with Spinazzola, yeah, I can see your point, but still, it's better to have a Spinazzola than Pellegrini for now. So Rugani will destroy us, says Aditsa. Another interesting topic. So if Pellegrini leaves, of course, it doesn't matter if Pellegrini leaves or stays. Rugani will stay no matter what. But De Sciglio, this is where my heart skips a beat, because I loved it. Let's not get ahead of myself. Sorry, I don't love De Sciglio, but I like De Sciglio as a player as long as he keeps himself on the right side. If he plays on the left, he will be destroyed, especially offensively. So, if you are, say Spezia, Sampdoria, Genoa, whatever, and you are looking at the lineup that you are fielding, it will be a rotation side because we're talking about Spezia's, Genoa, Sampdoria's, the minor clubs. Even though I have huge respect for Sampdoria, but we are gonna field De Sciglio on the left side, maybe even Danilo, but probably De Sciglio on the left if Pellegrini decides to leave on loan. They know perfectly well that De Sciglio will not attack. He is not exactly the attacking legend. He's not Roberto Carlos. He's not Luke Shaw. He is not an offensive wingback. So, what are you going to do? Of course, you are playing it so safe. Juve will never double up front because Cristiano Ronaldo would do it for himself. He will be playing on the left if he will be playing on the left. Most likely, maybe he will be playing up front. But if he plays on the left, then this is your attack. Cristiano on the left, behind him, Mattia Di Ciglio. That's it. That's it. So as long as you secure Cristiano, try, as long as you cover Cristiano, you're good, because Di Ciglio will never go at you. And if he will cut inside. They know exactly what will happen if Di Ciglio goes forward and attacks. He will cut inside on his right foot because his primary foot is right. So this is why I do not like having a right-footed player on the left side. It's too freaking predictable for a position's attack, a position's defense to defend. It's just as simple as that. And if he decides to put it on his left foot, they know eventually he will switch onto his right. So there is no point. Of course, it's a different topic if Cristiano plays up front and Chiesa will be playing on the left, even though I highly doubt that will happen. But with Allegri, you never know. But as I said before, this is my biggest criticism towards Allegri, is that he plays Di Ciglio on the left, because we destroy whatever offensive capabilities we have from the left. Alexandro is no legend going offensively. Let's be clear on that. But at least he is a left footer. So we'll see what happens with that one. If Locatelli if Pellegrini stays or leaves, that will also decide a lot for the future of our back line, which will be a back four, most likely. I'm in agreement with you on Di Ciglio, says Philip. He is Allegri's student. He will make a decent fullback out of him. He is a decent fullback, but a right one, on the right side. I like what I see from Di Ciglio on the right. He never really explodes, he's not someone you see every time doing some flamboyant stuff, but he does the job on the right. It's on the left that's my worry. So when you place Di Ciglio on the left, and then he makes a mistake, it's not because Di Ciglio is crap, but it's because you put him in there. It's like putting Cristiano Ronaldo in the wall against Porto. Of course, it's ultimately, maybe it's a bad example. Ultimately, it is Cristiano's fault for not standing his ground. But you clearly didn't learn from your mistakes. He was in the wall once again, because it happened 2 times. So it is a weird thing when you get hate on a player just because he's playing out of position. I don't like that. What positions we need to improve? I believe it's just too many positions. Goalkeeper, not the priority to this season, in my opinion. Left back, yeah, at least a backup. All midfielders, maybe some. At least, well, let's see what happens if Locatelli arrives. Maybe you see a better Rabiot. Maybe you'll see a better Bentancur. Bentancur will not play deep. Bentancur will not play deep, my friends. I can guarantee you. Bentancur will not play deep. What happens with Arthur, Locatelli, and Rabiot? It's a potentially very good midfield. It's a very good midfield, but they need to play together consistently in order to understand each other. Now I'm talking like Locatelli has just signed, but he hasn't. But if he signs, this is a potentially very, very good midfield. So we'll see. A striker, yes, we need another striker, but all these things will need to be addressed next season, just because of one simple reason: we have no money. And whether we do need to improve on it at all, maybe not the goalkeeper just yet, because, well, why do we need to splash 40, 50, 60 million on one goalkeeper when we have one decent one already? And again, wages, again, if we are selling Szczesny next season, we need to replace him with equally as good, or of course a better player. And who would that gonna be without spending too much? Ronaldo to PSG? Question mark. I think Ronaldo wants out of Juve. He wanted, at least. Or let's just rephrase it. I think Ronaldo wanted to see what's available out there for him. There was nothing, but maybe PSG. But then, well, Messi happened. So, but Messi went to PSG, so it's not happening because Ronaldo and Messi have big egos and can play together. We don't know that until they've tried it. But I get your point. And of course, Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, freaking Icardi, Di Maria. Why, in Lord's name, do they need Cristiano Ronaldo as well? Is it just so they can splash the fact that Cristiano and Messi are playing in the same squad? It's just for the sake of it. I see no point. I see no point of getting Cristiano now since they get Messi. And, of course, Neymar playing in his position. Icardi is there as well. Di Maria is playing great, actually, behind them. Verratti. Vinaldum just arrived. Donnarumma. This is a packed squad. Whether they can play together is another thing. And if you put Cristiano in there already, you can guarantee that they will not play great together with Cristiano in the side. So the smart thing from PSG now is just stop, lock the doors, lock whatever Fort Knox bank you have available for you, but just lock the Qatar funds, whatever, forget about it. The deal is done. Close the market. This is your side. This is your team. That's it. Yeah. I simply don't understand why they should need Ronaldo this season. Next season, of course, everything can change. Neymar might want out. Mbappe maybe to Real Madrid. We'll see. We'll see. We'll get Locatelli. Welcome, Adam, my friend. Welcome, Adam. We'll get Locatelli, but it's really pissing me off. He won't get integrated to the team for a while. And again, we'll get off to a slow start because of this. Yes, we talked about this already, but I can repeat myself. The reason for this is because Sassuolo are being very hard to get. And unfortunately for Juve, this is partially because of Italy winning the Euros. If Italy were going out in the group stages, this deal will be done by now, I think. But Locatelli playing for so long this summer, of course, kind of extends the whole thing. But we have no money. We have not enough funds to facilitate whatever Sassuolo want. And also, this is, I think, what we haven't talked about is, of course, what signal are you as a big club sending to the other clubs in Europe, in Italy, that if little, small, tiny Sassuolo are able to bully you into making a deal that is, well, in maybe in the grand scheme of things doesn't matter, but it will be on their terms. Sassuolo know that, okay, they got Juve by the balls right now. But if Juve are persistent on saying, no, we're not paying 30, we're not paying 40, we're paying 35, 30 at 30, 35, 35 at max. This is a negotiation, and when Sassuolo are denying that they won't lower their demands, this is where it gets tricky, because then they are playing hard to get, Juve are playing hard to get, and this is where they are at standstill. But now the time has come. The time has come to shut this deal down. Just sign the deal and be over and done with. He will come, but it will be too late. And I do agree with you, Adam, that it will be a while before we see a full strength Juve. Well, at the peak, probably in March. You know, it's Allegri after all. But with Locatelli coming in now, he will not be ready for the Udinese game. He will probably not be ready until the round 3 or maybe even 4 to play from the start. Do I care? Maybe not so much, because I think we should be winning those games anyway. I think Crapoli are very early on. Yeah. That's it. That's just the way it is. And if we are being pushed over by little Sassuolo, next season Fiorentina will come and say, you know what, Vlahovic, you want him? 80 million. Screw yourself. That's it. This is what they're gonna say. And they know that Sassuolo bodied us last season with Locatelli, so they want to do the same. Because they know Juve can be bodied. But now everyone else says, you know what? Juve are tough not to handle. Juve are not backing down. They will pay only 35 at max. So there we go. But it's a good one. It's an interesting one. What's gonna come out of this whole thing? Would you swap De Ligt for Holland on Mbappe? No, I will not. I will not. Never. The price of a player has been inflated by large margins, says Dennis. Then 100 million transfers, each is like an average transfer. All this because of PSG and other Premier League clubs. Yeah, partially, yes. Yes, it's hard to disagree with that one, actually. Yeah, I agree. No, Vlahovic, he might be one season wonder, says Home of Juve. Maybe, but we'll have to wait and see what happens this season. I think he will be a beast, an absolute beast. So we'll see. So we haven't even discussed Paulo Dybala, my friends. And Dybala is actually one of those guys' main players. He's in the thumbnail, for crying out loud. So we should talk about Dybala as well. We have Bonucci and Chiellini. Yeah, for one season. Max 2 seasons maybe with Bonucci. Chiellini will be done after, 2 seasons more. And Chiellini is an injury-prone player. So I will never get rid of De Ligt. No matter who you give me. If you give me Mbappe, or if you give me Holland, if you give me Kevin De Bruyne, if you give me Harry Kane, whatever, throw at me anything you want. I'll still keep Matthijs De Ligt. I still keep my boy. I will still keep him. Because I love him so much. This is just out of discussion. He is the foundation of our future. He's the foundation. And I'll say it like it is. He's the best player. He's the best defender in the world. Arguably, of course. Real Madrid fans will say Militao is such a great player. Ruben Diaz is another great player. But I say De Ligt is underrated just because he plays for Juve now. The world hasn't seen him so on the top peak level. Maybe they saw him at Ajax in the Champions League rounds, and that's it. In the Euros, unfortunately, it wasn't his Euros. Red carded as well, but Juve just coming under the radar, just getting the top 4 last season. And with Sarri, it was also a struggle with De Ligt at the start with all his handballs and whatever. De Ligt is staying, but it's only up to De Ligt himself. If he's staying, and he wants to stay for life, throw at me anything you want. I'll throw it back at you. Because De Ligt is the future for Juve. But, of course, right now, still, he's one of the best players right now. Without De Ligt, we wouldn't get top 4. You're talking about the future. We're in a mess right now. Yeah. 100 million will give us a top striker. That's what we need. No, that's not what we need. We don't need a top striker at this point. And right now, if Cristiano decides to leave, now this is another matter. If Cristiano decides to leave, then we will need a striker. Because who's going to replace all those goals? And this is not a football manager, my friends, huh? If we are selling one of our best players, if we are selling De Ligt now, first of all, who can afford him? Not many teams can afford him. If we're selling him now, We have what? Seriously, this is unbelievable. I'm saying we have Bonucci, Rugani, Dragozin, who probably leave on loan as well, and Chiellini. That's it. How can we win Scudetto with those four, potentially three defenders? It's out of discussion. Staying for now and for the future. It does not change. Danilo will not play as a defender, as a center back with Allegri. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Fernandinho from Manchester City will be good to have. Says Aditsa, maybe, yeah. But then, who is gonna leave Premier League to join Italian side? Lower wages. We don't have the fees to facilitate that transfer. It's just, it's sad, but it's true. It's sad, but it's true. So, Paulito Dybala. Still waiting for the confirmation that he will renew his contract. Of course, after this season is, well, he's going on a free. This is why we are renewing his contract, basically. But the interesting thing about this renewal is the wage. Basically the numbers. 10 million was offered apparently last season. He didn't take it. Now rumors are that they'll be offering they will be offering 8 million plus bonuses, and he is actually accepting. He is thinking about it. I think at the end of the day, I think there will be maybe 9, 10. They will be landing on a 9 and a 10 plus bonuses. But the bonuses for Paulo Dybala, this is the real kicker. It has to be. Because let's look at the numbers. Let's look at how many games he played last season or season before. He has been injury prone for quite some time now. And in order for him to be paid 10 million, he needs to earn that right now. In this situation, in the current situation of the club, he needs to earn that 10 million. In order to earn that kind of money, he needs to play. He needs to be consistently on the pitch. No injuries, just playing consistently. But it's too early to tell. We haven't seen 1 minute from the guy during this preseason. Tomorrow will be his first game during preseason. Apparently, he's ready to go, but we'll see. Where will he play? How he will play next to Cristiano? Where will Morata play in all this? Many questions to be answered. Does he deserve the renewal? Yes, he does. But does he deserve that kind of money? We'll have to wait and see. The trust is in the player right now. We trust him. Now he needs to earn that trust back, because we cannot just ship off 8, 9, 10 million to a random player. Ramsey, for example, he doesn't deserve that kind of money because he has been injured for so long. Paulo Dybala, yes, he has the history of a great player. He was great 3 seasons ago, 4 seasons ago. The season with Sarri arguably was also a good season for him. But last season was MIA. So we need a restart from Paulo Dybala. He needs it. From his point of view, he needs to stay in order to prove himself. Because right now, well, not a single club out there wants Dybala, because I haven't seen any rumors of Dybala leaving. Not a single club. There were maybe some stupid rumors here and there from Calcio Mercato, from people who just want to write something during the summer. I don't know. Everything now is on Dybala's shoulders. If Dybala decides to get his act together, to get fit, to not get injured. He is also an explosive player, by the way, who will get injured at some point during the season, might actually be injury prone. But again, it's everything is in his court. He needs to prove us that he deserves that 10 million. Right now, this weekend, they are talking. But that needs to be some action. They just need to sign the deal and move on from it. I think he will sign. I think he will renew. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think Forza Paulo. That's all I'm gonna say. I believe in him. I think he will do good, only if he stays fit. If he gets injuries, yeah, enough is enough. Maybe this season might be his last, if this is another struggling season for Dybala. But we'll see. False 9 Dybala in the 4-3-3 or number 10, says Rabi. Welcome, Rabi. In the 4-2-3-1 or in a 4-3-1-2. Yeah, it's an interesting one with Dybala and how Allegri will play this side, because Dybala in 4-3-3 might work, but then we don't have any prima punta who Cristiano Ronaldo can feed off. And with a 4-2-3-1, it's a great formation for mostly every single one included in the side, apart from the fact that we have so many midfielders and so many same midfielders on the same level. 4-2-3-1, only with 2 midfielders. Yeah, and we have 5? McKennie, we haven't even talked about McKennie. Yeah. Where does he fit in all this? If we play with 4-2-3-1, it has to be on the bench as well, because Kulusevski, Dybala, Locatelli, Kulusevski actually might also become a very important player for Juve this season, playing as a vice Dybala. Yeah, it'll be interesting. For me, we're making errors, but not changing our squad. We're trying, but nobody wants Ramsey, for example. We should aim to win the Champions League. And right now, all Juventus fans are realistic, and we have no chance against Man City or PSG or Chelsea. Let's be clear on one thing. We cannot compete with these guys per now. PSG can splash money on whoever they want because the financial fair play does not apply to French football, I believe, not until in 2 years. Man City as well. 100 million for Jack Grealish. Seriously. Huge amount of money. We cannot compete with those guys financially. But it's all about 11 against 11, and this is where it really matters. And this is where I think Allegri will be a good choice. It's a perfect choice. He could build a team around 11 individuals. Question is, though, when you first come up against Man City, against PSG, against Chelsea, who can sub on great players, take PSG, for example. If something doesn't work, they can just sub in Icardi. They can sub in Di Maria. If they go to the penalty shootouts, Icardi, Neymar, Messi, Verratti, Vinaldo. I don't know if Vinaldo is good at penalties, but they have such a huge squad. The bigger the club, the better, the bigger the squad, the harder it is to find a weak point, because they will always adjust themselves. And this is where actually Allegri comes in with counter-attacking, adjusting his squad in order to compete at the highest level. So this is where we can compete on the pitch, but off the pitch, in the financial market, no way. And of course, if we come up against those 3 teams, especially Man City, PSG, or Chelsea, for example, take Bayern Munich as well, perhaps, we'll be destroyed, because they have such a big squad with such many big quality players as well. We need to sell to make improvements. It's hard to disagree, yes, but Who would want players who we have been struggling to sell Ramsey. We couldn't sell Douglas Costa. Remember, this is high wages we're talking about. Nobody wants our players. Rabiot was rumored away. Now, of course, when Allegri arriving, everything is changed. He loves Rabiot so much. Dybala, nobody wants Dybala because there are no money in the world apart from those three, and those three they have bigger fish to fry. They're not gonna go and look at Juve and say, Dybala, would we want Dybala? And then we splash a price tag of Dybala of 120 million, so let's say 100 million for Dybala. And then Chelsea go and say, you know what? No, thank you. We don't need Dybala actually. We have Timo Werner, we have Kai Havertz, we have a lot of players around Lukaku now. PSG, they don't need Dybala. Man City, they don't need Dybala. For sure, they have Bernardo Silva who actually wants to leave. But as I said, who can afford these guys? So there are very, very few players. If you really want to improve the side, you need to sell big and buy many, many players because you're gaining that kind of money. But who? De Ligt, again. Who needs De Ligt? To be honest, Chelsea are probably more than happy with what they got right now. PSG, probably more than happy with what they got right now. Man City, perhaps Man City. But then they have also not unlimited budget. If they are splashing 100 million on 150 million on De Ligt, they can forget about Harry Kane, and they need Harry Kane more than they need Matthias De Ligt. So this is the conundrum. Everything needs to click. And right now, of course, I'm not going to sell De Ligt. It's just crazy. Dybala girlfriend is a problem. Yeah. Will Caio Jorge play against Atalanta? No, home of Juve. I don't think so because he is in quarantine, I believe. And even if he weren't, he's just come over from overseas. He doesn't know his team. Probably doesn't even speak the language just yet. Even though I've heard rumors that he actually learned some Italian back home in South America. But if he will play against Atalanta, I'll be very surprised. But we'll see. And even if you play, like 5, 10, 15 minutes or whatever. So it will be impossible to see what this guy is actually all about. Calm yourselves with Caio Jorge, by the way. Round 5, round 6, maybe we'll see him. I'll be surprised if that happens. I'll be surprised. Pep told the press that they sold young academy player for 60 million and then they were able to afford Grealish. My question is how much an academy player is worth? They might have sold the whole academy. I don't know who they sold, but as I said again, the English clubs are crazy with regards to money. They sold Ben White was bought for 50 million. Ben White, who didn't get a single minute, if I'm not mistaken, for England in the Euros. 50. Young, British, yes. Locatelli, young, Italian, 35. So this is the market. Ben White, 50 million pounds. Can we play 5-5 formation because our midfield is so bad? His home of you, that's funny. Imagine Mbappe to Real and Ronaldo to PSG this summer. I think this will happen next summer, actually, Aditsa. I think I'm thinking that this one will happen next summer, which is fine, which is totally fine by me. Would we buy anyone then? I think next season, next summer will be a crazy summer for us. It will be crazy summer for many of us. And I mean, Chiellini, Bonucci, what will happen then? Is Chiellini fit enough to play another season? Bonucci, how is he feeling? De Ligt, is he still happy at the club? Cristiano's contract will be up. They will not probably, if they will renew it, it's going to be with lower wages. If not, he will go to maybe PSG, maybe back to Sporting. I don't know. What's happened with Morata? What's going to happen with Locatelli? What's going to happen with Alexander, who is not getting any younger? The same thing goes for Cuadrado. He's just around the corner for resigning his new contract. Man, many questions to be answered next summer. But this is why we need to do, this is very important, a great season this season. We need to win the Scudetto. We need to go far in the Champions League to get that revenue. We need to do as much as possible this season so that we can build a foundation, a financial foundation for next season. A lot of other clubs will also build their foundation this season because then the fans are back. They will be paying for their tickets, the sponsorships. The world is going back to normal. Cheeseman, welcome back to the stream. And no, I didn't take my second shot just yet. It will be in October, I think. Yeah. That's it. This is the crunch time. This is the crunch season for many teams. Many teams. So this is why we need to do the best thing possible to win the Scudetto and go far in the Champions League. If by some miracle we're winning the Champions League, I'm tattooing Fino alla fine somewhere on my body. I said this before. I'm saying this again. I say this every time we're talking Champions League. If we win the Champions League, I'm tattooing. I'm tattooed up. But that's not gonna happen because first of all, too many good sides now. Secondly, it's Allegri with a dysfunctional side per now. Arthur, Locatelli, Rabiot. This is my midfield, starting midfield for this coming season. Maybe Bentancur in there instead of Arthur or Rabiot, but I kind of like Rabiot and also Arthur. Let's see what happens with him once he's back from his injury, from his rehabilitation, because he had the surgery now. So we'll see. Do you like an English fan and get the tattoo now? Yeah, I am that stupid. I am that stupid, Irish Macbeth. No, I'm not. Or maybe like a Crapoli fan. They also tend to be rather silly in regards to tattoos. If you catch my drift, if you know what I'm talking about, which tattoo I'm talking about. Will you accept extension for a year or two for Cristiano if he agrees to reduce his salary by 50-60%? That's an interesting question. Very interesting question. Maybe we'll still need to go out there and buy a proper striker who could get the best out of himself and Cristiano and, well, Dybala or whoever it may be next to him, Chiesa as well. But it all depends on Morata as well, because Morata is still on our cards. We have renewed his loan for yet another season, and next season, well, I think we have to buy him next season if we are using him now as well. I could be mistaken. Oh, you don't know what I mean. We will buy Morata next season. Yeah, that is my fear. Even though I mean, there we go. I bought his kit, but I just don't. You know what? He's inconsistent. He's not the answer. He's not the one who will give me 20-25 million goals a season. I just don't think so. He's just too inconsistent, in my opinion. Maybe this season it will change. We have the option to buy. Okay, thank you, Aditsa, the expert, and Ravi as well. Oh, the good old experts. I love you guys. By the way, smash the like on this video, subscribe if you haven't, of course. This by boy still up for grabs for once we pass 2K subscribers. I'm amazed that we haven't. We're still at 1.8 or something. Still no 2,000 subscribers. What's going on? Wow, it's going so slow. Felix has been loaned out to Parma. Yes, with option to buy with a buyback clause, says Ryan, another expert. Thank you, Ryan, for your expert pitch. So tomorrow is Atalanta. Don't care much about the game. Care more about the fitness levels of care more about the fitness levels of our side. Let's see. I think Sule, under 23s, played a game today against Como, and Sule, you know the guy who played on the right, impressed us heavily against Monza and whoever that was, I don't remember. He scored apparently, so well done to him. What time is the game tomorrow? Tomorrow game time is at 9:30 my time. So basically in 24 hours. I think it is in 24 hours. Let me check. Let me check. Let me check. No, it is in 23 hours. So 8:30. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So should we do a watch along tomorrow, huh? It's been a while. It's been a while since we've done a watch along. Should we do a watch along tomorrow? Midnight. Midnight. Ravi says. I hope he's not Ricardo coming to us. I hate him so much as Ryan. I know he does. I know Ryan hates him so much. But 2:30 p.m. Eastern for me, his Mr. Crab. Yeah, so should we do a watch along, guys? Smash it in the chat if you want to watch along or not. Maybe I will be do one. I'm not sure. The watch along will be fun, huh? Long time no see. And also, of course, if they actually broadcasting thingy. For sure, they're not gonna do it in Italy. Watch along will be good. Steve, I love you. Love you, Steve. Our squad is good. We just need midfielders, says Home of Juve. Ah, the positive Home of Juve. I love it. Yes, we haven't done one in a while. Yes, suspected grab. Should we do one? I think so. We should do a watch along for the Juve against Atalanta. The real, the test before the real thing starts next week. Udinese against Juve. Juve need to change the system of distribution of money from TV rights, as TV rights is significantly increased by Cristiano arrival. There need to be some reforms in Serie A to become the best league from second. Ravi, my friend, I love you. I love the optimism. I love the idea. But one, we're talking about Italy. They haven't. They don't know what a car is at the moment. They still are on bikes and horses and carriages. In footballing terms, they are so far behind. They are so slow. Only 3 sides, or maybe 4, are owning their own stadiums. For example, it took ages, and then they decided to scrap the whole thing. I think for the Roma stadium, the new Roma stadium, it never happened. Milan and Inter, Merda, sorry, they are still on that awful San Siro. The stadium in itself is iconic, but let's be honest, the ground is crap. What's going on there? The Serie A as a product, as a football, as a commercial thing, it's very hard to sell unless you have good players there. No Lukaku, and now Cristiano is on the verge of leaving as well. Will be his last season, possibly. So how can you sell Serie A as a product? It's very, very hard. Of course, the passion from the fans, the passion from the players, the passion from the club owners, whatever. It's just we have to sell it somehow. So get on board. I mean, promote Serie A, whatever it's worth, but it's just not enough. It's just not that interesting. It's just not that interesting for people. This is why Serie A right now, still, nobody knows in Norway who's going to broadcast it in Norway. 1 week until the start of the season. 1 week. And in England, if I'm not mistaken, my friends, you can confirm if somebody's watching from the UK, that they are just, BT Sports, I think, just signed the deal for Serie A for the next 3 seasons. Just. Imagine that. Imagine that. But I love you, Ravi. I love the confidence, and I'll be right there with you, but I just don't believe it's going to happen that quickly because their head is somewhere else. Super League being one of them. Yeah. All right, my friends. Listen, it's been fun. It's been great fun. We need to wrap this up 1 hour and 22 minutes soon with the stream. Thank you so much for watching, and I say this once again, Locatelli deal will be done next week, but the whole thing, the whole thing will not really see Locatelli maybe before round 3, round 4 in Serie A, because he will not play against Udinese. It just comes too soon. I'll be surprised if he does. So let's just keep it cool. Let's just keep the cool, keep it quiet, keep it simple, and just don't hope for too much. And as I said before, buying Locatelli in itself is just not enough. Locatelli is not enough. We need more. And more, I don't necessarily mean quality. Of course, we do need quality, but forget about that. We won't get it. Forget. But we do need to rediscover the faith in ourselves, the hunger, the grinta. This is what we are looking for, the hunger and the grinta. If we are rediscovering that, we are winning the Scudetto. I'm calling it right now. If we are mentally aware of every single game of those 38 games in the Serie A, we are winning the league. Atalanta are a scary bunch. Lazio might do something. Napoli might do something. Merda might do something. Milan. But I say, we have what it takes. We just need to find it in the squad. Plus, of course, if Locatelli arrives, it will be a much more easier because, well, trust me, you don't want to see Ramsey playing as a regista throughout the whole season. All right, my friends, thank you so much for watching this one. Probably we'll do a watch along tomorrow. You just follow this channel, subscribe to the channel, and notification bell, whatever it is, so you won't miss anything. You won't miss me doing a watch along. So it will pop up wherever you are, so that you know I will be doing a watch along tomorrow or not. Probably I will, but we'll see what happens. Ravi, thank you so much for joining. Mr. Crab as well, lovely to see you. Home of Juve, Steve as well. Ryan, lovely to see you, Ryan, as always. Aditsa, of course, Irish Macbeth. Dennis. Let's go. Prochinho. And many others, my friends. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy. Cheeseman as well. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy with your loved ones. And we'll see you probably tomorrow. Fino alla fine. The season is about to start, my friends. And I'm so waiting for Locatelli to come and just enough with this nonsense. Let's just go get the football rolling. Huh? Fino alla fine. Ciao.